Hey everybody, y'all, it's the last seed starting video. You're gonna wanna tune in. Y'all, we have been going at this for the last 9 weeks. And y'all, we are 2 weeks away from the last frost date in zone 7. If you are new here, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee. And for the last 9 weeks, I have been taking all of you on a weekly seed starting challenge. And today is the last day of the seed starting videos. So if you're new, I would love for you to consider subscribing so that you can see the past videos, but also you can start to see what we're gonna do with these 1,000 seeds plus that we started over the last 9 weeks. And so again, if you're new here, I will pop the playlist up here, but every single week we have been starting seeds from 12 weeks before the last frost date, and now we're 2 weeks before the last frost date. And so next week will be the 1 week before the last frost date. I won't be seeding anything. We will be getting ready to get the thing done. But if you're not new here, I hope that you've been following me along. I know many of you have left comments about being a part of the challenge, that you've been starting seeds with me every single week. It's so important when you're starting seeds to start them at the right time. That is why I do this weekly seed starting challenge, so that you can see what to start when. So therefore, you're not starting your tomatoes at 12 weeks, but you're starting them at 6 to 8 weeks, which is the proper time. You're not starting squash at 12 weeks. You're starting squash at 3 weeks before the last frost date. So that's why I've been doing it. It's been so super helpful to me to keep doing it over and over again. But also, I hope that it's been helpful for you. And so one of the things that we do each and every week is that I show you the progress of the seeds that you and I started together just last week, so that you can see how things are growing on my end and talk about any challenges or concerns that may help you along the way. So before we dive too much into this video, and you're gonna wanna stay to the end because I have something special I wanna talk about at the end of this seed starting challenge. But let's take a look and see how the things did just last week. Okay guys, this is our first tray that we planted, and this tray is all cantaloupe and watermelon. So you can see that we have some germination, but a little bit slower than, I'm not gonna say slower than average. It's just, we're at 7 days and this is what we have. So cantaloupe, out of this, we have at least 3 of the 6 popping up. And then we have 3 out of the 6 there. And then 1, 2, 3 out of the 6 there. So that's about 50% so far. My watermelon, I'm a little concerned about because I see 1 there. And I'm not seeing any more right now. That's the strawberry, and then this is the sugar baby. I see 1 pushing through there. And maybe 1 there. Then this right here are the key lime zinnias, my first time doing this variety. It is doing well. And then over here is the sangria watermelon, nothing yet. And then this is nasturtium, nothing there yet. Nasturtium again, I have 2 out of 6. Okay, this is the second tray that we did. And so this tray is cucumbers, basil, squash, and zucchini. So let's start here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the first 6 rows, so to speak, are all cucumbers, all different varieties. And you can see overall, I have great germination. It is doing very well. This row right here that you see, that's the most up, is the sashimi, but all of these cucumbers are doing well. So I have different kinds. I have the straight 8, I have Socrates, I have sashimi, and then I have the Katrina, and they're all doing well. Then we get over here to the squash. The squash hasn't popped up as of yet. I think I have 1 coming up there, another 1 there. And then this row right here is basil. That's all popped up, the little sprouts, which I forgot I had basil because basil usually likes heat. So that's good that it's already popped up. And then here is more zinnias, the quinine lime mix. And then this very last row is zucchini, and I only have 1 Well, I got another one coming up right there. So overall, this tray is doing well. This third tray is all sunflowers. And so you can see I have some excellent germination all the way across. The only quadrant that I don't have germination is these four right here, which is the Goldie Honey Bear, and then the one that's right behind it here. I don't have germination there, but those seeds are very, very old, so that may be why. But everything else you can see is looking fantastic. So I have different varieties here. If you didn't see what I planted last week, I have the Pro Cut Excel. I have the infrared mix. Yeah, those are the two main ones that I have, but looking great. Okay, guys, you can see overall things did pretty well. So let's talk about the first tray that I showed you, which was the watermelon and cantaloupe. So if you didn't see last week's video, the cantaloupe that I planted is actually from seed that I saved 2 years ago. So I'm excited to see that it is popping up and that it's working. Y'all, even though I've been doing this for the last 4 years, I still get excited when I see that green pushing through the soil. And I'm always, again, as much as I've been doing this, I'm always like on pins and knees, like, is this gonna work? Like, can I start seeds? Is something gonna come up? Always. I don't know that you ever lose that as a gardener. But those cantaloupe seeds are ones that I saved. Now my watermelon seeds, I'm a little, I don't know. Now, I did look up, watermelon seeds do take 4 to 12 days to germinate. So right now we're at day 7 or day 8. So we still have time. I'm going to give it until the end of the week before I call it bad. And the reason why I'm concerned more than I normally am is because last year, my strawberry watermelon seeds did not germinate as well, and I ended up having to buy watermelon starts. Now, strawberry watermelon is my favorite watermelon. I grow it. You can only get it at Baker Creek, and y'all know that I've had struggles with Baker Creek germination. I've been very public about it. I don't make any apologies about it. I'm sharing with you my experience. And so I'm like, okay, are you going to do the same thing that you did the last time? Now, what I did this time was the seeds that I started for the strawberry watermelon are actually seeds that I saved from my watermelon 2 years ago. So the same kind of deal with the cantaloupe. They haven't germinated as of yet. So before I call it bad, if these don't do it, I will do the new packet of seeds that I got for the strawberry watermelon. So I am going to start those this week. And if I have extra, then I'll just sell the extra. No worries. But I got to make sure, if all possible, I want some strawberry watermelon. The other one, the cantaloupe, is doing good. The other watermelons, like the Sugar Baby and the Sangria, you see that those are moving slow as well. But again, let me give it another week and let's see if it pops up and let's see what happens. The squash and stuff that I showed you, the cucumbers are doing great. No issues there. I know that some of you may say, hey, I didn't know that you could start cucumber seeds. Yes, you can. You can start anything. Now, it may have an issue when you try to transplant it, and people say that cucumbers, squash, and zucchini, just direct seed them in the ground. You don't have to start them. No, you don't have to start them, but you can start them to get a head start if you want to. I've been doing it for the last 3 years, and it's always worked for me. So those things are doing good. And then what was the last tray that we did? The last tray was, I'm looking over here to see if I remember because I've kind of moved things around. Oh, the sunflowers. Sunflowers popping, doing great. So y'all, it has been 10 weeks, I guess, that we have been starting seeds. We started this journey way back at the end of January, first part of February. And at that time, we felt like, at least I felt like, it's a long time before the summer. But y'all, doing this every week consistently, I have over 1,000 plants in my house, and I am literally out of space. So before we keep going, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to start this week and why, let's take a little trip down memory lane. Y'all, it's been a fun 10 weeks, but now looking at all of these trays in my sunroom and in my house, it reminds me of how short the journey is when you're always trying to wish for the next step. So I am savoring this moment. All of my hard work is paying off. We've planted tons and tons over the last 10 weeks. We've done peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, of course, our beautiful marigolds. We've done herbs, we've done flowers, we've done vegetables, we have done all the things in a very structured manner over the last 10 weeks. Now here's the tray in my house. This is where we first started, and then we always use the sunroom as the backup. Look at these beautiful marigolds, peppers, purple basil, regular basil, peppers that's ready to go outside. The list goes on and on. More beautiful marigolds, eggplant, tomatoes upon tomatoes upon tomatoes, chamomile, eucalyptus, rosemary, you name it. We have done it over these last 10 weeks. Thank you guys for being on this journey with me the last 10 weeks. Now let me show you what to do once you have your plants inside the house and you're ready to plant. Y'all, our hard work has paid off. Every rack is full. I have 5 racks in the sunroom and I have 4 racks in my house. They are all 4 deep. It is full. It is full. So you're thinking, why you starting more seeds? Well, because it's a seed starting video and I can't come on here talking about it's 2 weeks before the last frost and not start some seeds with y'all, right? But also my plan, and I'll just kind of get you into my head, I literally am out of space, right? And so I have like a couple of pockets here and there. Like I have one tray that can take like 2 more stick sales, and then I have another tray that can take 1. So I will be doing that. But what I'm going to be focused on this week is starting my plant sales. So if you are local to me, I will be selling my excess plant starts. So last week I took an inventory. I told you about that. And then all last week I was gathering pictures and identifying the quantities that I wanted to sell. It is going up on our website. So for the people that are local, they can go on our website, see what we have available. I'm going to schedule a drop off in my local community and then also the community that's like 45 minutes away from me. So we're going to start offloading some of these plants to sell. And then I'll be selling probably for the next 2 to 3 weeks as we keep having stuff coming up. So that's what's on the horizon this week to kind of give me some space. And then also you will see in upcoming videos, we are going to be planting the high tunnel this week. Yes, this week. Now, in terms of the weather, y'all, the weather is weathering. It is crazy. Last night, y'all, was the first time since we've lived at this property in the last 5 years that we have had to get in shelter. Like we had a live tornado in our area last night. Thank God. All was safe. It did not hit us. Everything is safe. Everything is good. So we are very, very thankful for that. But it did get a little scary, right? And I was leaning on my emergency prep stuff and all of that and still found I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. But that's a whole nother video. But I don't know where the weather is where you are. I hope that all of you guys have been safe and not touched by the storms. But in terms of the weather this week, today is just sloshy wet. It's cloudy, but the temperatures are going to be like 65 or so. And then for the next 2 to 3 days, the temperatures are going to drop. Like we're going to have 31 degrees and I think 35 degrees overnight. But I think in the next 2 to 3 days, it is going to warm up. And so that is when I'm going to plant the tunnel. So I got to make it through 2 more nights or so of cold weather, which it always happens. Like as long as I've been gardening, it's been like this for the last 3 to 4 years. Like right before the estimated last frost day, it says, we're going to hold true to our word and we're going to frost one more time. It always happens. So 31 degrees. So the stuff that I have outside in the back of my house in my green stalks, there's only one thing that I'm concerned about. And that is, you guys can see this on video, but I did plant out a few petunias and it was really just, I'm out of space. I'm like, I gotta offload some stuff. And so I did some petunias, but I have plenty left. So I'm gonna experiment and see how they do. If not, I got plenty left. I'm not concerned about it. But everything else should be okay that we plant on the green stalks. Of course, everything in the tunnel should be okay. So I'm not overly concerned, but I don't wanna put my tomatoes out knowing that it's gonna be 31, 32 degrees. So if you're wondering about planting your stuff, when it comes to tomatoes, generally, they are good to 40 degrees. Peppers, they like it to be 50 degrees or higher at night. So I'm not going to do my peppers this week probably unless the 10-day forecast when I start to plant looks good. But I will definitely do my tomatoes in the tunnel. But let's talk about what we're going to plant this week. So this week, I'm only planting a couple of things. So I am going to do more Persian cress because I made a mistake, and we're going to talk about that on the other end of this video, is I put my Persian cress outside because I've been doing my trays outside, some of them, and the sun was just beaming down too hot, and it just really just burnt them to a crisp. I'll tell you about that when we get to that part out there. So I'm going to do more Persian cress, and it germinates quickly, so no concerns there. And then I'm going to do more watermelon, again, just because I want to make sure that I have watermelon. But other than that, I'm not doing anything else. But if it's you and you're like, what can I plant at 2 weeks ahead of my last start date, my estimated last frost date, you can be doing sunflowers, zinnias, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, okra. All of those things are fair game. Now, you can make the choice to start them, especially if you're not going to plant them for the next 3 to 4 weeks, or you can just decide to direct sow. It's completely up to you. If you're going to put them outside in the next 2 to 3 weeks, the benefit of starting them now is that you're going to have a head start. But those things like the cucumbers and the zucchini and the squash, they have a really short maturity date. Like, you're going to have fruit within the 60 or 70 days. So it's really a coin toss at this point. But like your watermelon and your cantaloupe and things like that, if you want to go ahead and start that now, that's a good idea, because that can take 90 to 100 days. So if you're not going to buy a plant start and you're thinking about direct sowing, if you have the space, go ahead and start that stuff inside. It's going to give you a 2 to 3 week jump ahead. So that's kind of where we are for 2 weeks before the last frost date. And again, I've been showing it on video, but those are the two things that I'm going to start. And those are the reasons why. Other than that, I'm full. The end is full. I'm good. I do not need any more seeds. But what I want to talk about in the last part of this video is, how do you transition from seeds in your house to outside? And I want to talk about the hardening off process. It's usually called hardening off, is what they talk about it. And I don't think that I've ever done a video on it on this channel. So let's talk about what hardening off is. Let's talk about transplant shock, and let me give you some tips on how to protect your seedlings from going from your house to the outside. So best practice when you have started your seeds inside and you're ready to plant, the best practice is to harden off your plants. That means get them acclimated to the outside. You have to think, your plants have been in your house, they've been warm and cozy, they've been temperature controlled, and if you especially temperature control, but then also they have not been around the wind and the extreme sun and the varying temperatures. Now in my house, I try to have a fan on my seedlings. I didn't do as great of a job this time with that. You know, I had some, but not all of them have been under the fan. But what the fan does, it mimics the wind. And so the gentle sway of the oscillating fan is going to strengthen your plant, and it acts like the wind. So remember, they've been in your house, they're warm and cozy. So before you don't want to take your plants from your house to the ground, right? Because what can happen is something called transplant shock. Basically, it's just what it says. Your transplant gets shocked. They're like, I've been warm and cozy. I've been in a very controlled environment. Now you're going to put me out here with all this wind and the sun beaming down on me, and you're just going to expect me to just take it? No, ma'am. Not doing that. And so in order for them to have the highest chance of success, to harden off, you want to take your seedlings, and usually I start a week before I want to plant. You want to take your seedlings outside every single day. So the first day, you just take them out for an hour or so, put them in the sun, let them, water them, make sure they're good, then bring them back in the house. The next day, do 2 hours. The third day, do 3 or 4 hours. So you're going to keep adding time over the 7 days to get them acclimated to outside. So that way, when you plant them outside, they're acclimated. It's not like a new thing. It's not like a new environment. So what I've been doing is I have a table out here in my backyard that my husband set up for me. And it fits 6 trays. So I've been taking trays out. Now, the thing about it is I've only been taking the trays from my sunroom just because it's right here and it's easy. But I've been taking 6 trays out and letting them sit out pretty much, several hours. Now, again, do as I say, not as I do, because I've been doing it for a while and I know the climate in the back of my house. I let them out for more than just an hour at a time, and they've been fine, except my Persian cress. So my Persian cress, it was already dry when I set it outside. And again, I was going to water, and it makes it easier to water when they're outside too, because I can just take my hose pipe and water them all instead of me, trying to bring them into my house, into the kitchen, or spray them with a spray bottle. And I've told you, I have a sprayer that is really good, but the sprayer is in addition to, sometimes they just need to be saturated with water, especially once they get up and the roots are developed, not brand new seeds. But once they get established, like my stuff is, you want them to have good saturation and for the soil to be very moist. So I put them on my table out here. And what I've been doing, because I can only fit 6, I'll usually rotate day by day. And so I'm not putting the same 6 out there. So that's what I've been doing. But I put my Persian cress out there. It needed water. The sun was out that day. I was going to come back and do water and water them all. When I came back 3 or 4 hours later, that Persian cress was gone. It was gone. Do I have it up here? I don't know that I can put my hands on it right now. But anyway, it was done. D-O-N-E. And so I gave it some water. I was like, it's gonna bounce back. It's gonna bounce because I've had that before. I gave it the water. It's like, we gone, sis. We out. So I'm gonna do more Persian cress. But everything else was fine. Even the stuff that was looking a little wimpy, once I gave it water, it bounced back fine. So again, that's just an example of the heart. I should have never put it out there, one, without water. And then and because the Persian cress was not very big, I shouldn't have put it out there that long. So make sure that you are hardening off your plants and taking them outside. Now, the ones that's been in my house, y'all, most of those have not been outside at all. So what I'm doing now, the ones that I know that I'm going to be planting in the tunnel, I have been putting a fan on them in my house, and they're going to be going outside starting this week. So even though they're in my house, I will be taking them outside this week to let them start hardening up and get used to the environment. I cannot stress how important it is. So if you've ever taken your seeds from your house and then planted them in your garden, and then you go back and you're like, what happened? It's all wilted. It was looked so bright and beautiful in my house and looked so healthy. That's probably what happened. It's called transplant shock. So I hope that this helps you. So y'all, it has been a wonderful, wonderful journey. And thank you guys for sharing it with me. Over the last 10 weeks, we have started over 1,000+ seeds. We've kept them alive. Not only did we start them, we kept them alive, right? And now we get a chance to plant them in our gardens and see the fruits of our hands, literally, and be able to feed our family. So if you're like, man, I didn't get a chance to start seeds this year, I've been watching, but didn't get my setup, that's okay. Start your direct sow, get you some transplants. Whatever you do, do not make a choice to not garden. Do not make a choice to not provide some level of food for your family this year. The learning comes in the doing. You can listen to me all day long. You can have my videos on repeat. But until you get your hands in the dirt and until you nurture and take care of the seeds and the plants, that is how you learn. Learning comes by doing. And so as we start to go into this gardening season for the summer, because it's getting real. Now, some of you're like, Barbara, I'm ahead of you. I already put myself in the ground. Great. And there's some of you who's like, I got 3 or 4 more weeks. Great. All of us, y'all, this is the moments we have been waiting for. While we were sitting in our cozy homes in December, wanting to taste a homegrown tomato, it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. So as we start this gardening season, I hope that this series has been helpful for you. Go back, take a look. I hope that you are encouraged. If your seeds did not do well this year, do not give up. Go buy you some transplants. Put you some seeds in the ground. If you need some seeds, let me know. Whatever you do, grow some food this summer. Garden this summer. Learn something this summer. Do not let this season go by and you're not growing food. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for being on this journey. I cannot wait for this summer gardening season. We just about to get started. So if you have not subscribed, what you waiting on? Click the subscribe button and let's go on this journey together. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's do it together. I'll see you next time, friend.